There we go. Swear. Always gotta have a fuck up. Hopefully people will find this stream. What's up, guys? Yeah, YouTube just trying to fuck me over. I guess this won't be monetized. Fucking ridiculous. That's what I get for trying to advertise and get people here, you know? Anyway, because we looked for that video and we couldn't find anything. I had Marcus looking, I looked, a whole bunch of people looked for it. Could not find that video anywhere. So if you could find it and email it to me, that would be great. Absolutely ridiculous. Thank you, YouTube. You did that shit on purpose. Because I did what I was supposed to do and advertise the fact that I was going to be live. Then you decided to just screw my shit up. So good work, YouTube. Whatever. And I guess somebody's going to ask, what am I eating? Honeycomb. Yes, I know. All right, there's Miss Fawn. Hi, Miss Fawn. YouTube tried to fuck this up. I wouldn't let them. It was goofy because I could see the chat and I can see all this other stuff. It just wouldn't let me do it. Well, anyway, tonight's video should be a little bit different than the last one. Hopefully less talkative. More Bigfooty, hopefully. Guarantee you it's going to be the same as last time. Because YouTube wanted to fuck this up. They try. Anyway, I got a whole bunch of videos. Marcus. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Marcus says that they're not very talkative videos. We'll see, huh? How's everybody doing? Honeycomb cereal. It's delicious. Oh, look, Ed's here. I saw you just a second ago, Ed. How you been? See Duke Man over there knocked out? What's going on? Yeah, Marcus was busy, but hopefully they're good videos. Not a dude talking for 2.5 hours. What's up, Rooster? Yeah, we looked everywhere and we couldn't find that video because sometimes stuff like that gets like repressed, or yeah, I guess that's the word, like where they don't want you to see it, so they don't leave shit up, or they found out it was bullshit. Oh, I know, Miss Vaughn, it's delicious. I was gonna like have milk and cereal, but I think that would have been awkward eating that while I'm trying to stream and watch this shit. But I guess maybe not. I mean, like, streaming has become a little bit weird. I mean, not for me. I mean, it's like for people in general, you know? All right. I mean, I looked. I'm sorry, cause like it just happens. But yeah, you find it. Let me know. All right. Y'all ready to start watching these videos, or you want to talk, or what? What you want to do? We can do both. Not supposed to breathe in the honeycombs. Oh, ooh. All right. What's the name of this first one? Crystal clear Bigfoot footage leaves wildlife experts speechless. Watch before it's removed. I mean, 100% that's fucking clickbait, but you know, hey. Who am I to bitch about clickbait?
Researchers who take Bigfoot seriously don't take every alleged Bigfoot video seriously. In fact, they're often the first to call foul on the fakers. So when they tell us they've seen video they think is legit, we take a look too.
From a massive figure moving through deep snow to mysterious voices in the night, footage after footage is surfacing, clips so crisp, so detailed, even the researchers who usually roll their eyes at Bigfoot sightings are suddenly paying attention. So before any of this gets buried, flagged, or mysteriously taken down, let's break down the clips that left
That's a dude in a suit. Look at the eyes.
Stunned. Brandon's encounter. Let's start with Brandon, who was just enjoying a scenic train ride from Florida through southwest Colorado. Nothing unusual, just mountains, trees, and calm views out the window. Then suddenly,
Well, this computer voice is going to get on my fucking nerves, though.
Something that didn't make sense. His brain went into overdrive. Was it an animal? A person? Something else? With the train still moving and shaking, he quickly pulled out his phone and hit record, hoping to figure out later what he had actually seen. Even though it was tough to hold the camera steady, the clip he captured ended up being clearer than almost every Bigfoot video floating around online. But here's the twist. After filming it,
So it just laid there?
Brandon didn't want attention. He didn't want internet fame. He didn't want...
Wait a minute. Did it just lay there and you just walk? Like, what the fuck? Anyway.
On interviews, he didn't want chaos. So he made his Instagram private and only shared the clip with a few people. One of them was his grandpa. Growing up, Brandon had heard all kinds of stories from him, especially about Florida's own local legend, the skunk ape. People had been reporting sightings for years, and his grandpa was one of the many who believed there was something.
Sound good, looks good, everything's good. Like, just saying.
Out there. When Brandon sent him the video,
I guess
his
it is.
grandpa was excited, really excited. And the thing is, Brandon's clip wasn't the only one raising eyebrows.
Marcus.
Tatra mountain footage. Back in 2009, at the Poland-Slovakia border.
So as you can see, I'm missing quite a few chompers. I'm hoping to find a more permanent
Border. Justina Folger and her friend.
Of course, they're gonna put a Bigfoot ad on a Bigfoot video, and obviously Marcus didn't watch this shit because, whoa. You want to go out? You want to go out of there? Hold on. Marcus didn't watch this shit because it's a lot of fucking talking.
Friend were hanging out near a creek, filming casually. The guy behind the camera seemed nervous even before anything strange happened. At first, neither of them realized what they had captured. But something in the trees was watching them. The moment the girl screamed, the creature vanished into the forest like it had been waiting for the right moment to disappear. Now,
Guess he didn't want to stay in here.
This was 2009. Cameras were shaky, autofocus was bad, and stabilization wasn't a thing. So when the video went viral, some people said the cameraman was just shaking too much, like someone trying too hard to pull off a hoax. But others argued the complete opposite. If you had seen something that your brain couldn't make sense of, your hands would shake too. And what really convinced people was the location. The area was remote. There were no native primates, nothing that should have looked even remotely like what was caught on camera. So, to many viewers,
I mean, I don't know. That could be a dude in a suit. That could be a dude in a suit. I'm not saying it is, but it could be a dude in a suit.
that clip felt a little too real. Bigfoot destroys the camper's tent. Then there was the clip that absolutely terrified people. A man who owned a piece of remote woodland had set up a campsite deep in his property. He had a trail camera attached to a tree just to keep an eye on the place while he was away. Most days, the camera picked up nothing more than a deer, a raccoon,
I mean, I guess this isn't that bad. It's like little weird stories. I wonder if all these videos are like
maybe
that.
a passing fox. But this time, something else walked into the frame. The footage showed a massive dark figure,
Holy
Bigfoot-like,
shit.
broad shoulders, long dark hair, dropping a huge tree branch directly onto the
Come
camper's tent.
on.
When zoomed in, the creature looked way bigger than any human. And when people compared its height to the tent, which was roughly 4 to 5 feet tall, the creature stood almost twice that size, around 8 to 9 feet. The clip was short, which led to plenty of speculation.
Wait a minute, though, because if you're... I know people have been camping. Like, that just looks like a normal dude next to a tent. You can't see its face. It looks like it has like a hood on. Come on.
Maybe the camera only recorded a few seconds after detecting motion, or maybe it ran out of storage. Either way, the moment it captured was enough to leave viewers frozen. Why was the creature so aggressive? One theory,
Why would it have a
the
hood?
man had set up camp right in Bigfoot's territory. After watching the clip himself, he packed up and moved his campsite elsewhere on the property, hoping to avoid whatever had visited his tent that night.
No
But that
balls.
wasn't the end. More and more evidence kept appearing. Found Bigfoot by mistake. And then came the 2015 incident when a mushroom hunter in northern Illinois stumbled across something he was not expecting at all. While recording different mushroom species in the forest, the hunter noticed something odd. One of the mushrooms had a clean bite taken out of it. It looked fresh, like whatever had eaten it had been there only minutes before. He laughed it off and kept filming, focusing his camera on a mushroom glistening with water droplets.
I wouldn't be all that surprised if it really was. I mean, I don't know. He's not that big, though. Dude dressed up like probably.
And then, everything changed.
I think that's going to be a majority of shit. Like, about 90% of sightings are people fucking doing stupid shit.
Out of nowhere, a loud scream ripped through the forest. Not a normal animal call, not something he recognized. It sounded like a creature in pain, and definitely nothing known to the area. The moment he heard it, his instincts kicked in. He didn't wait to investigate. He didn't stop to think. He did exactly what anyone with common sense would do. He got out of there immediately. Seeing a strange creature from far away is one thing, but having it scream back at you, that's something else entirely. Peekaboo, the Alberta trail camera.
Okay.
The next footage didn't come from a person. It came from a trail
Duke
camera
Man's
deep
back.
in west central Alberta, Canada. Originally placed to study wolverines, the camera ended up capturing something completely unexpected. And when the video was highlighted on January 17, 2024, it caused a stir immediately. The clip starts when a large buck steps into frame, peeking out from behind a tree. It seems cautious, almost nervous before
Say
it
hi.
retreats. But it wasn't nervous for no reason,
Oh, they can't
because
see you,
right
really?
behind that tree, something else was hiding. At first, the dark figure stayed perfectly still, completely motionless. But the moment the deer walked away, the creature moved. What the camera captured was massive, dark, fur-covered, and way too big to be anything familiar. For scale, the average buck is around 3 feet tall. Yet even on lower ground and crouching, the creature's head still rose much higher. If it stood up fully, it could easily be 7 to 8 feet tall.
I don't
Whatever it
see
was,
shit.
It clearly didn't want to be seen, but the camera caught it in.
Zaxby's giant chicken finger quesadillas. Get them while you can. Who's got the sauce?
Come on.
Anyway, Mountain Peak Bigfoot. Then comes another piece of footage, this time from high along the Wasatch Front. A man named John had sent researchers a video he filmed on a mountain peak, an area already connected to multiple Bigfoot sightings. His clip showed something unusual enough that a research team decided to check it out themselves. John and his friends explained that they were down in a valley at about 4,200 feet. They had spotted something moving far above them on a...
All right, at least this is actual like people thinking they're catching Bigfoot, but with some explanation. So it's not too much. Like, this is okay, I guess. I don't know. Marcus.
Sitting around 9,000 feet. Using a spotting telescope, they zoomed in and recorded the figure as it moved horizontally across the snow, and then climbed straight up a steep, snowy slope. Because they didn't have specialized equipment, they held their camera lens directly to the telescope's viewfinder, doing whatever they could to capture the moment. The creature was nearly a mile higher than they were, about 5,200
You got a
feet
telescope.
above
Come
them.
on.
To
Where
even
the fuck
see
is it?
they had to zoom more than 3 miles into the distance. What they recorded was shocking. The creature wasn't struggling. It wasn't sinking. It wasn't slowing down. It was running fast through almost 90 inches of snow like it was nothing. And that effortless speed is what grabbed their attention the most. As they focused more on the footage, the group felt a mix of amazement and excitement building. It just didn't make sense. Nothing and no one should be able to move that fast in snow that deep.
And it's up on 2 legs. It's not running on 4. That's upright.
Unless whatever they were watching was incredibly strong and unusually tall, the movement simply shouldn't have been possible. When the researchers finally received the footage for analysis, they were eager to dive into it. With so many hoaxes floating around online, they wanted to confirm whether this clip had any chance of being authentic. As they zoomed in to get a clearer look, they were trying to figure out exactly what they were dealing with. But even with all their experience, nothing prepared them for what showed up on the screen. Because there it was, a bipedal creature sprinting across the mountainside. The
Is that
figure
what he really
paused
looked
for
like?
only a moment, almost like it was catching its breath, and then suddenly took off again, bolting across the snow with surprising speed.
Yeah, that's...
The researchers were stunned.
That would be rough to fake. That would be rough to fake.
They already knew the snowfall in that area was roughly 90 inches deep, and knowing that, they understood just
Yeah, it doesn't look... Well, it looks like he might be leaving
how
tracks.
impossible this movement should have been. For anything to move at that speed through thick, powdery snow, it would need extreme height, massive strength, and feet that sank deep into the ground with each step. But this creature wasn't just running, it was running uphill. The power and momentum it showed
Maybe that's
left
why.
everyone speechless. What could possibly move like that? To show just how difficult it would be for an ordinary person to move in that much snow,
That's pretty
the team
crazy.
decided to run their own little experiment. They went hiking in the foothills east of Francis Peak at Hardscrabble Creek, where the snow was only about 18 inches deep, a fraction of what was seen in the footage. Sky, who stood a solid 6 feet tall and was built strong, tried walking through it. Even he struggled to move cleanly in snow that wasn't even 2 feet deep. Running was completely out of the question. And if
I wonder if the reason that there's no tracks is because the snow is falling into it because it's so deep. I don't know. I'm just because when dude's walking, that's what's happening.
Guy could barely walk in 18 inches, then whatever they saw running in nearly 5 times that depth had to be significantly taller and unbelievably stronger. The comparison only made the
But wait a minute. Hold on a second. It would have had to have left something. And it looked like it didn't leave. It looked like it was floating on top of it. So I don't know. I don't know
original
about
footage
that one.
even more shocking. After the footage made the rounds, people naturally began asking the same question. If the creature was really running across the snow, where were the tracks?
Okay, they're going to answer for
Some
us.
recommended sending drones to scan the mountainside where the creature had been spotted. The area was steep and difficult for anyone to reach on foot, so aerial footage made the most sense. A helicopter pilot, fascinated by the video, decided to fly over the mountain to take a look. What he found stunned him. There were tracks. The winds at the peak were strong, and they were slowly wiping the prints away, but the trail was still visible enough to confirm something had moved across that slope.
But
The
why?
tracks were real, and the evidence was there, even though it wouldn't last
That's
long.
weird.
Despite all of this, the researchers made
Bigfoot
one thing
booty.
clear. John never claimed the creature in the video was Bigfoot. He only captured what he saw, A large figure running uphill across a steep,
I mean-
icy mountainside covered in deep, windswept snow. And he also never insisted the massive footprints belonged to Bigfoot either. Even so,
Covering his
the
own
evidence
ass.
was hard to ignore. The steep terrain, the unusual trackway, and the creature's movement left everyone wondering what exactly had been filmed. Based on their experience, the researchers noted one final detail. The pattern of the trackway was consistent with what most realistic Bigfoot trackways look like. Trackways attributed to Bigfoot often showed long, powerful strides, the kind you'd only expect from something with a huge frame and long legs. Another detail stood out too. The footprints tended to line up in a straight single file, one foot placed directly in front of the other.
Okay, whatever. The footprint shit is whatever. But to have something, even a guy, look that big next to that tree and move in that, I don't know if you can fake that. Now, because there's no footprints or whatever, I mean, maybe they could have dropped something, but it doesn't even look like that. It doesn't look fake like that.
It looked almost like the creature was walking a tightrope, a gait not seen in humans and not common.
Don't just take classes, take charge. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
No.
Hey everybody, Peach here, and today we're going to take a look
Shut
at
up.
the Spedience Gym Monster
No.
2, which is an
Go
Most
away.
animals
Thank you.
either. To the researchers, these details were meaningful. Maybe one of these videos, or possibly both, were capturing the same kind of creature people had been reporting for decades. While the first group captured the figure from a long distance, someone from the Expedition Bigfoot team ended up much closer. Russell's close encounter. During one of their expeditions, the expedition
Yeah, that last one, I don't know. That's a little goofy. I think that's one of the better, because how would you even fake that? That would be hard to fake.
Bigfoot crew stumbled onto something that completely stunned them.
All right, this is Expedition Bigfoot. This is probably
After
bullshit.
leaving their cabin, Russell headed north, following signs he believed came from two Bigfoots fighting. He wasn't guessing. He had physical evidence. A blood trail stretched northwest, leading him to a spot where he'd seen a large figure move between the trees. He kept tracking it toward the west side of
You had them in your yard. Maybe you got to use a Bigfoot. You never know. Never know.
the area, trying to figure out what exactly he was dealing with. There was just one problem. He had been out of contact with his team for more than 27 hours. When he finally reconnected with the rest of the crew, he filled them in on everything he had experienced. The sounds, the blood trail, the movement,
What blood
the
trail?
direction of travel. With that information, the cameraman started scanning the trees, trying to locate.
Okay, I don't like that. He skipped information because they didn't say nothing about no fucking blood trail. Now all of a sudden there's a blood trail.
The creature while it was still on the move. He used the full power of his camera's long-range lens, zooming in as far as he could. For a while, he saw nothing but branches, shadows, and thick forest. But then, after several tense moments, he saw something.
Come on.
He caught it, and the crew erupted with excitement because whatever it wasn't a bear. When they slowed the footage
It
down
was
and
that
examined
dude.
it frame by
It was
frame,
fucking
the
that
differences
dude.
became even clearer.
That dude right over there. It
The
was
creature
him.
didn't have the posture of a bear,
All in
nor
black.
did it have the short, rounded legs bears are known for. Instead, it had long, straight legs and walked on 2 feet in a steady, confident stride.
Hold on. Look at that. Do you see that? That's a dude in all black. That dude was dressed in all black.
Its head shape didn't resemble
I'm just saying.
a bear's head at all. And then came the detail that sealed it for them: the arm swing. The creature's arms moved in a long, fluid motion, something a bear simply cannot do. Bears can stand and even take a few steps on 2 legs, but they do not walk long distances upright.
Right.
And they definitely don't have a relaxed, human-like arm swing while doing it.
My question is this. You see that. You don't take off and go down there and be like, what the fuck? Like, you go, like, you're just standing there. Oh, my God, it's a Bigfoot. Like Groa said. Right, it looked like pant legs, exactly. It was that big furry dude. Guaranteed.
Whatever the crew had captured
It was that
moving
dude.
like a humanoid, not an animal native to the forest. It was too tall, too upright, and too coordinated to be any wildlife they knew. To them, it wasn't just unusual, it was impossible to ignore. While the Expedition Bigfoot team had their own dramatic encounters, solo researchers out in the woods have had their moments too. The Virginia sighting.
That was a dramatic encounter. Okay, all right. That's okay.
This time, the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization received a report from Virginia, not far from the Kentucky border. Unlike most stories, this one included...
Look, I don't trust them groups. Like the Bigfoot group, like that big sign where they have these organized hunts together and shit. Come on, man, you can't be believing that shit. Can't be believing that shit.
Audio and video. The witness, Harley, had recorded strange vocalizations echoing through the night. Even more surprising, he captured something watching him from a distance one Monday. Later, he discovered unusual tracks about 50 yards from the sawmill where he worked.
Those look too perfect.
2 days after that,
like
he
the grass
spotted a
is all pushed
Bigfoot-like
down
figure
around
staring
it.
at him from the cliffs behind the mill. Harley had been working at that spot for almost 2 weeks, and everything happened right there during his shift. It was September 23rd, 2020, around 1:45 p.m. The encounter lasted over 5
11
minutes.
cents. Thank
But
you,
for
Miss Vaughn.
Harley, who did not believe in Bigfoot at the time, it felt much longer. That day, he suddenly heard a deep growl from the tree line close to where he was standing. He looked around, trying to see what was there, but nothing moved. Then he heard it again. When
Come
he
on, will you
glanced up at the
just
cliff,
show it to
he
us?
noticed something peeking from behind a tree. It kept slipping in and out of view, but eventually he managed to get a picture. Then something even stranger happened. His phone died instantly. According to him, the phone has not worked properly since. At first, Harley assumed it was a bear because of its color, but the creature's movements were nothing like a bear's. It peeked from behind the trees, almost as if it were studying him. The behavior seemed curious, even aware.
That's a fucking bear.
Harley grew up
Get
around
the fuck
wildlife.
out of here.
Okay, Richardson, give me the tree.
There you
The
go, Miss
holidays
Vaughn. More
are done.
ads.
No way they're done.
So he knew how a bear should move, and this was not the same. The encounter did not end
Whatever.
there.
Look at that. That's a bear.
About an hour after dark, around 9:30 p.m., he heard more strange vocalizations from the woods.
Hey,
The
Ganja
noises
Mama.
continued steadily, so Harley pulled out his phone and began recording them as well. According to Harley, the creature was not
No
just
worries.
large.
We're
it
really
also
just getting
smelled
started. It's the
awful.
first video.
He said the scent hit him from almost 100 yards away, like rotting eggs drifting through the air. Having grown up around wildlife, he knew bears did not smell like that, so the odor left a lasting impression.
Stinky bears. They have
He
stinky
later
bears.
admitted that the smell and everything else from that day stayed in his mind for a long time, almost as if he needed someone else to confirm what he had seen was real. That is why he kept sharing his evidence. Harley
Hi,
told
Julia.
the RMSO that after the encounter, he felt committed to the Bigfoot topic in a way
Look
he
at that.
never
Wait,
had
hold
before.
on. Look at that. Look at that. That is a fucking bear. Okay? You can see its snout right here. Its ears. That is a bear. It's a
Before.
bear. It's a
He hoped
bear.
that by being honest about his own experience,
That
he
you
could
saw a
help
bear?
others feel more comfortable talking about theirs. He sent the research group the recording he made that night, placing his phone on the compressor of his truck so he could keep his hands free while
I'm doing good. Ganja Mama, how about you? Sitting here munching on honeycomb.
listening to the
Watching some bullshit Bigfoot videos.
strange sounds. When the
That
RMSO
was a
studied
bear.
the audio, they noticed creaking and machinery in the background, which made them curious about what Harley had been doing at the time. Harley explained that he had been sitting in his truck finishing the week's paperwork from the auction, making sure no one came around after dark before he locked up and left. Being alone at the sawmill late at night was not unusual for him. What he had heard earlier had seemed like wind pushing against the old building, at least until the growls started. After the encounter,
What growl? I
Harley
still
went out
didn't
to
hear a
grab
fucking
dinner and ended
growl.
up talking to some older locals. He told them what he had seen and heard. At first, the men were quiet, watching him closely because he was not a local. But eventually, one of them referred to the creatures as devil monkeys. That name made Harley uneasy. A week earlier, the sawmill owner had warned him.
Did that dude just say devil monkeys? That's the best thing I've ever heard in my life. From now on, Bigfoots are devil monkeys. That's I might put that on a fucking shirt.
About the usual mountain animals, bears, snakes, and coyotes, and mentioned
See, the
there were
bear.
things in the woods
The
far
bear.
worse. Hearing the old-timers say the same thing gave Harley chills. The RMSO asked him more questions to understand the creature's size, since Harley had seen it during the day. He told them it was definitely taller than him, and he was already 6'6". He also believed it was strong enough to overpower him instantly. When asked about the tracks he had photographed 2 days earlier.
Hold on, you see that shit? Look at that. Look at that. I've seen Bigfoot tracks plenty of times. The grass around the track, it's not really pushed down like that. Like, that looks like somebody pushed the grass down and then made the fucking footprint. That's ridiculous.
He said they were about 50 to 100 yards from the sawmill.
Get the fuck out of here.
He had heard Bigfoot stories before, but finding the tracks so close to his workplace made him reconsider everything. After seeing the creature with his own eyes, he felt certain about what he had encountered. Harley explained that he never would have noticed the creature if not for the growl. That sound made him look up. He saw movement in the brush, then the creature leaning out from behind the trees before stepping back again. After a moment, it turned and walked up the ridge on 2 legs, hunched forward in a way he had never seen a bear move.
But I bet you dude didn't get that on camera.
Every part of its movement matched the descriptions the RMSO was familiar with, and if it was not Bigfoot, it was something extremely close. When the RMSO's...
I agree with you 100%. That dude was fucking tripping on some mushrooms and saw a bear, took a picture.
Zoomed in on Harley's picture 350%. They noticed what looked like a faint shimmer around the figure. They believed it could be light shining through the creature's outer layer of fur. To them, it was an incredible image
the bear's fur.
Captured only a few hours before the strange, unexplained vocalizations Harley had recorded later that night.
Grown up.
All right. Well, that was the first one. Let's close that madness. Well, shit, I gotta be on here to do it. Close. There you go. All right, let's get the next video. I mean, these aren't too bad. And very much could be worse. Could be just all talking from a big old Cheeto dude. Know what I mean?
Researchers who take Bigfoot seriously
Homie, we wasn't
don't
ready.
take...
Hold on. It was a devil monkey. Exactly. All right, what's this one? Scientists. Oh, my God. Oh, all right, cool. Let's see what the scientists have to say about a devil monkey.
Take every alleged Bigfoot video seriously. In fact, they're often the first to call foul on the fakers. So when they tell us they've seen video they think is legit,
I've never sent them a video said it was legit. I'm just saying.
Take a look too.
A team of experts just evacuated their remote camp after a 2 a.m. camera alert showed them.
Wait a minute. What the fuck was... What were they wearing? Did they have like an arm on with cameras facing them and shit? Because if they are, they're full of shit.
Exactly what was lurking in the dark. This footage captures the raw power and size of a creature that has lived in our stories for hundreds of years. But now the stories are being replaced by clear digital proof that cannot be...
I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. That white Bigfoot is sexy. I'm just saying. I want to throw it out there.
Easily dismissed.
Yeah, experts.
This event caused a total panic among researchers who thought they had seen everything. From the forests of the north to the backyards of the south, these giants are being seen more often and getting much older. 299. Everything started on a deserted stretch of highway.
Virginia calls them wood buggers. I actually heard that before. That's a good one too.
299 near the Bluff Creek area. This is a place known for many stories about giant creatures, but what happened to a driver recently is on a whole different level. A man was driving his large recreational vehicle through the...
Hold on, y'all follow that. Make sure you like it, share, and subscribe.
...the winding roads when a massive figure suddenly ran out of the forest and straight into the path of his vehicle. The impact was heavy and made the entire recreational vehicle shake violently. But here is the catch. The driver was under the influence, but the camera on his dashboard did not lie. It captured the exact moment a towering two-legged creature with a bulky frame stepped into the light. The creature only stumbled, rolled toward the road.
That cannot be the video. That has to be something else.
Roadside and appeared almost unharmed after the collision.
Hell no, because he didn't hit that motherfucker hard enough.
Do you see
here we
that?
go.
I'm afraid.
You afraid?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
He's scared.
Most people do not realize that
Act like he ain't never seen something big and black walking around. Well, I mean, honestly, he sounded like he never had. So.
the authorities usually dismiss these stories quickly. This time was different because the wife of the driver was in the passenger seat and she recorded the whole thing on her phone from a second angle. The Humboldt
Where's
County
that
Sheriff
video at?
Office had to admit the footage was puzzling and unexplained, even while they were giving the driver a ticket. Experts
Some
are now
bullshit.
analyzing both camera angles to measure the height and body structure of the creature. This event happened.
How come you can't show us so we can do it? Like, you can show us both angles and then we can make a fucking determination. But no, you're going to show us that fake shit.
Near
Okay.
Willow Creek, which is the legendary Sasquatch capital of California. The area is home to the Sasquatch Museum and the annual Bigfoot Festival, so the locals are used to weird stories. Hands down, this is one of the most dramatic multi-angle events ever caught on digital film.
Look how he's running.
It is no longer a question of whether the driver was seeing things. The real mystery is how a living creature could take a hit from a multi-ton vehicle and just walk away into the darkness.
It's got to be AI.
Surf or turf?
No.
With the Zach Seas box, the answer is both.
Get Zach's
Investigators are currently looking for physical evidence like hair or blood in the brush where the creature fled. The crazy part is that the creature looked like a solid block of muscle that was at least 7 feet tall. This collision was just the start of a much larger pattern emerging across the country.
Look at my phone, you can see it.
Wait, I want to see the phone. I want to see too. Oh my goodness.
Dude, that's weird.
What's
Look at
weird?
the phone, you can see it.
That's a fucking dude in a suit.
What shocked the cryptid research community the most was not just one giant caught on camera, but an entire family. Two
That's
different
bullshit.
forests located hundreds of miles apart accidentally recorded almost the exact same scene.
How in
A
the...
massive parent was leading its young through the trees right before dawn.
You're telling me that's not fucking AI?
As if they were following a secret route. The first clip was triggered at 3 in the morning in a remote forest where there is no phone signal for miles. When the
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
camera turned on, a massive black figure stepped into the frame. It walked like a person, but its movement was so smooth and silent that it felt like something far more ancient.
I'm just going to say this. Marcus, you picked this because you knew this was funny as shit, didn't you? Didn't you?
Beside it was a baby trying to keep up, stumbling but giving everything it had. The moment that gives everyone chills is when the adult suddenly stops and turns its head.
Nope.
It stares directly into the lens as if
You can't trust shit. You can't trust anything. Anything nowadays.
it knows someone is watching from behind a screen. Then it gently nudges the little one and both vanish into the pitch black woods.
Nah, look how they were
Yeah,
running.
about
That's
that.
AI.
A second clip was recorded at 4:17 in the morning in a different forest under similar conditions. This one had dark brown fur and was leading two young ones in a straight line. They moved slowly and in perfect
fuck.
order, which is almost identical to the first family. When the adult detected the camera, it repeated the same behavior of stopping and observing before guiding the kids behind 3 large trees.
Hell no. No. Them ain't mine. They're not mine. I'm not paying nothing for nothing. Okay? No proof. No proof. And no, I'm not taking a DNA test neither.
This raises a disturbing question about whether these creatures are
I
being
mean, that one
pushed
right
out
there
of their
kind of looks...
homes.
Wait, hold on. That one right there looks like me in the morning, though. So, I mean, maybe.
If they are not roaming alone but moving in groups, many people fear that something is threatening their environment. These family sightings suggest that these creatures are far more organized than we ever imagined.
Oh, fuck out of here.
The unexpected visitor in a Pennsylvania backyard. From the deep forest sightings, we move to a backyard where a giant may have been only a few steps away from humans. Everything began with what seemed like a harmless photo from the National Weather Service. They were simply documenting storm damage in Fayette County, Pennsylvania. This is an area in the Allegheny Range known for years of reports about strange figures in the woods. But when the photo was published online, viewers immediately noticed something unusual in the background. Behind a white fence in the stripped-down trees, a tall, dark figure was walking. Its hunched posture
That's
and
a
unusually
dude.
long arms sparked an instant debate across the internet. Online communities
That's a fucking dude, man.
circled the figure and asked if this was a real giant hiding in plain sight. What made the incident more dramatic was the location itself. Fayette County is considered one of the biggest
looks like my
hotspots
property.
for these sightings in the eastern United States.
That's a
Dozens of
dude.
reports have come from hunters and even local police officers over the years. So the idea that a government camera accidentally caught a mysterious figure made many people wonder if this was the ultimate proof. In the photo,
No.
a man is seen raking leaves only about 20 feet away from the figure. He is not looking toward it at all, as if he has no idea.
That looks like a dude that has a tight ass black suit on. Like, you see how his arms are not even like moving? Like, that's a dude in a fucking just something.
Yeah, it is there.
I bet you it's just like a black suit and they were gonna like do something to it.
One side of
Yeah, that's definitely a dude.
the debate says that these
Definitely.
creatures are extremely quiet and stealthy, so the man not noticing is possible. The other side says a creature that large would have been heard. Some experts think it might be a statue because those are common in that part of the country. However, no one has confirmed who owns the property or why the figure looks so lifelike when you zoom in on the details. The mystery in that backyard
that's a
remains
dude.
unsolved,
Exactly, it's
while
too
even
clean.
more terrifying encounters are being reported. This incident happened on
Right. How did they not hear it? You wanna know why they didn't hear it? Because it wasn't fucking really there.
a narrow forest road in northern Georgia near the Appalachian Range. A local hunter was riding his all-terrain vehicle through the woods to check his traps and trail cameras. Everything was calm until he turned onto a path covered in leaves. At that exact moment, the camera on his vehicle captured a huge dark figure sitting just behind the trees. At first glance, many people thought it was a bear,
See,
but the
stuff like
posture was
that.
very strange. It was sitting up.
See, videos like that where like you don't think they're gonna fake anything just because did he set out to do that? You know, like that looks like he was just riding out there and caught a glimpse of something. But that doesn't mean anything.
Right and solid with high shoulders like a block of muscle. As the vehicle moved closer, the figure stayed completely still and did not react at all. When the video hits,
Come back and move forward with Purdue Global at purdueglobal.edu.
There's a hit piece out on us. There might be more underneath the hood.
social media, people immediately started arguing.
See, I don't know. That kind of looks like a big dark piece of wood. Like, why didn't dude stop? Like, you have traps, you must have a gun. Stop. Be like, what the fuck?
About what it could
Oh, no balls. Okay.
be. Some said it looked like a silverback gorilla, but Georgia has no wild gorillas in its forests. That only made the sighting more confusing for everyone. What caught the attention of viewers was how the creature did not run away.
Oh, Miss Font, believe me, I already knew you. Before I even got started, I knew you had a big-ass glass of sweet tea.
It simply sat there watching the hunter go by without
I need
any
to get
fear.
some. It sounds good.
It looked like something that knows it is stronger than anything else in the woods. When
Eh,
the video was zoomed in, you could see wide shoulders and dark fur that did not match a black bear at all. The hunter confirmed that he had ridden that route for years and never seen anything stand or sit like that. The location was later pinpointed to the Chattahoochee National Forest, which has had more than 20 reports in the last 5 years. But the clearest moment actually came from a trail camera in Oregon near Mount Hood. A farm owner
Skip
noticed
to
his
that one, no
livestock stopped eating, and the forest behind his land looked disturbed. He set up a motion camera along a trail and expected to see a wolf. Instead, at 2:43 in the morning, a massive figure appeared on the screen. It had long hanging hair and heavy muscle like a living statue. It did not walk past
hey, is that a camera? Oh, shit. Let's make a TikTok. What the fuck?
the camera, but walked straight
Right,
toward
see,
it
look.
step by step. When it leaned down, its entire face came into view with a highbrow ridge and eyes glowing faintly. The creature leaned in so close that its breath fogged up the entire camera lens. A silent watcher.
Okay. I don't know about that. That definitely is fake. But wow, people just
The late
AI
afternoon sun
videos,
cast long
at least that was a good fake though. I mean, that was a good fake because like you see the breath, it looked like the eyes twitched, but that's how you can tell it was fake. One of the eyes glitched.
jagged shadows across the dry, brittle husks of an eastern Iowa cornfield as a lone farmer began the final pass of his yearly harvest. The rhythmic, deafening thrum of the massive harvester was a familiar comfort. a sound that usually signaled the successful end of a long season. To capture the moment and share the progress with his friends and family, the farmer propped up his phone, casually filming the wall of corn as it was swallowed by the machine's rotating blades. He expected to see nothing more than golden stalks and clouds of dust. However, as he reviewed the footage later, his heart sank. At the very edge of the frame, a massive dark figure emerged from the dense rows, walking with a heavy but purposeful gait toward the
There was a dude laying in your fucking
perimeter
field, and you ran him over with that, and now he's all dusty.
of the field. The physical proportions of the entity defied any standard human explanation. Its shoulders were incredibly wide, creating a powerful trapezoidal silhouette that seemed to block out the light behind it. Most unsettling were the arms. They were thick and long, hanging down nearly to the creature's knees as it moved. When the figure briefly turned its head to glance back at the machinery, the farmer felt a cold shiver trace down his spine. The skull was large and leaned forward significantly from the neck,
I don't know. That was
giving
pretty
it
good.
a predatory, primitive appearance. What truly baffled the local community was the creature's behavior. Despite the thunderous roar of the harvester, a noise that usually sends deer and coyotes sprinting in the opposite direction, this giant did not run. It did not even quicken its pace
Right, it's just like slowly fucking walking.
in fear. It simply continued its stroll with an air of total indifference, as if the multi-ton machine and the man inside were completely inconsequential to its existence. When the video began to circulate, skeptics were
Exactly. Why all of a sudden? Like, why all of a sudden?
quick to suggest it was merely a prankster in a high
Never records anything, but I'm gonna prop my phone up as my nephew or farmhand walks out looking like that.
quality costume. But those who actually worked the land in eastern Iowa were not convinced. They understood the visceral reality of harvest season. The blades
Right,
of a
hold on.
modern harvester
Hold on, I didn't even think about that. The farmer, wouldn't he be pissed off or something in his field?
are unforgiving and can end a life in a split second. The visibility inside a dust-filled cornfield is poor, and the noise is disorienting. No rational person, regardless of their dedication to a prank, would risk stepping into the path of a harvester. Furthermore, local trackers noted that these sightings often coincide with the ripening of crops. Many reports suggest these massive beings are opportunistic, drawn to the easy, high-calorie food sources provided by vast fields of corn and pumpkins.
Oh my God. Yep, you do that.
The
Shut up.
video left every viewer with a lingering sense of unease, not just because of the creature's size, but because of its terrifying lack of fear.
Whatever.
This sense of dread is a
Oh, that's
common
a fat
thread
boy.
in
Holy
sightings across
shit.
the continent. Thousands of miles
Did you see that big bitch?
away, in the rugged mountains of Mexico, a group
Holy
of seasoned
crap.
hikers experienced a similar encounter that nearly turned deadly. While navigating through thick, sun-scorched brush, they spotted a towering black figure watching them from a distance. The moment the creature realized it had been seen,
Look at that thick bitch. Holy hell. Biggin. I bet you soft and like cushy and everything.
it didn't retreat. Instead, it charged. The hikers described the speed of the giant as unnatural, a blur of dark fur and raw power crashing through the vegetation. They scrambled for their lives, their breathing ragged and panicked,
Right?
manages to capture only 10
That's not a big booty Bigfoot. That is a big bodied big. That's. Well, I bet you that motherfucker can keep you warm at night, boy.
seconds of chaotic, shaking footage. In those few seconds, the sheer mass of the entity was undeniable, moving with a fluid athleticism that no human in a suit could ever hope to replicate. The mystery deepened with a chilling incident in the remote wilderness of Idaho. A group of campers had established a site in a clearing surrounded by ancient pines. While they were away from their clearing gathering
can see it.
firewood, a motion-activated camera caught what they had missed. A massive figure standing
But why was the motion acted camera there? Why did you put it there?
at least a foot taller than the peak of their tent roof stepped into the light. It didn't rummage through their supplies or destroy their shelter. Instead, it simply stood there, a silent sentinel in the dark,
That's bombs
observing the
from
campsite with a clinical, detached curiosity. When the campers returned and later viewed the footage, the realization that they had been watched by something of that scale Something that could have easily crushed their tent with a single step, left them unable to sleep in the woods again. Do you think
you were in a suit?
These giants are becoming more aggressive or just more curious about our world? It seems like the boundary between our homes and our forest is disappearing very fast. What would you do if you saw a face that large looking through your window at night? Please leave a comment.
I would shoot that son of a bitch. I would, no joke, shoot it. No joke. Right in the face. See what I do if I see that in my window at night. Murder, that's what I would do. All right.
Researchers who take Bigfoot seriously don't...
It's the same intro every fucking time. Pissed on their tent, probably.
Take every alleged Bigfoot video seriously. In fact, they're...
See, these videos aren't too bad. There's a lot of commentary, but at least it's better than fucking, I don't know what Small Town Monsters is thinking, man. Holy shit. That was hard to get through.
Often the first to call foul on the fakers. So when they tell us they've seen video they think is legit, we take a look too.
Bigfoot sightings have fascinated and terrified people for decades, and yet, after all these years, the mystery remains unsolved.
Oh wait, hold on. I forgot the name of this video is New Disturbing Bigfoot Footage Shocks Experts. Yeah, we'll see.
Eerie footage deep in the forests of North America to unexplained encounters across the globe. These stories challenge what we think we know about our world. The Colorado River sighting, May 24th, 2025. It was an ordinary day along the upper Colorado River. The kind of quiet, serene afternoon where the only sounds are the rush of water over rocks and the distant call of birds. A tourist, enjoying the calm, decided to take a walk along the riverbank, phone in hand, likely expecting nothing more than photos of the scenic landscape. But then, something unusual caught his eye, a dark, moving figure in the distance. He
Okay, Richardson, the holidays are done.
We thought so too, but then Verizon just gave us their best deal.
Instinctively raised his phone and began recording. The figure was unmistakably humanoid, larger than any human should be at that distance, with broad shoulders and a distinct dome-shaped head. Its movements were
ain't you supposed to be like recovering? Like, you better be chilling. I'm just saying. What's up, Noah?
Were deliberate, almost purposeful, and yet eerily calm, as if it were aware of its surroundings, but unconcerned by the humans observing it. When the man showed the footage to his friends, disbelief quickly gave.
Check out Monster Mondays. It's horrible. Okay, I'll have to check it out. You might have to remind me. Might have to remind me though. Just saying.
Way to unease. Zooming in, they could make out the features commonly reported in Bigfoot encounters: a muscular, upright frame, a head that...
How do you see a muscular... You don't see a muscular anything. That is clearly a dude in a suit. Clearly. Look at it. If you think anything different, you need to seek fucking professional help.
That seemed oddly proportioned, and a gait that was fluid yet controlled.
Look at my phone, you can see it.
Wait, I want to see it in the phone. I want to see it too. Oh my goodness.
Dude, that's weird.
It's definitely... Guys, come look in the phone. You can see it. It's definitely
The figure never approached. It never ran. It simply existed in that space, silent and watchful, leaving
dude in a fucking suit,
the viewers with a chilling sense of presence. For those seeing the footage later, the experience is both mesmerizing and unsettling. The figure seems to belong to the wilderness in a way humans cannot fully comprehend. Its detachment, combined with the unmistakable humanoid form,
it's even like a cheap-ass suit, too,
forces a confrontation with a question that has haunted cryptozoologists for decades. Could this finally be one of the rare, authentic sightings of Bigfoot? Or was it merely an illusion, a trick of light, shadow, or perspective that deceives even the most attentive eye? Regardless of interpretation, the Colorado River sighting reignited discussions long thought settled. What was once dismissed as myth, folklore, or the imagination of thrill seekers suddenly appeared in a modern digital form, recorded, shareable, and impossible to ignore. In that moment, the line between legend and reality felt thinner than ever. leaving viewers to grapple with the possibility that some mysteries of the natural world are far more tangible.
Good, take that shit. Maybe this will be funnier to you, brother.
And far more unnerving than anyone dared to imagine.
Do you see that?
Do you see that? Do you see that? I've never seen such a big black thing in my life.
Afraid. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Pull your gun out. That dude's about to rob you. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to help you out. That dude is about to rob you.
The Boy and Pauline, a home in Ohio. Not every unsettling encounter unfolds in the deep wilderness. Sometimes the extraordinary appears in the most ordinary places, like a quiet suburban home in Ohio. Here, a mother captured a moment that would haunt her, her son, and viewers online for years to come.
Oh, is this
her
it?
young son was playing alone in the living room, engrossed in conversation with his so-called imaginary friend, whom
Come on. Be the one looking in the window. Come on.
he called Pauline. At first glance, the scene appeared harmless, almost endearing, a child lost in the world of imagination. But when the mother reviewed the photograph she had snapped, the image revealed something far more disturbing. Crouched beside the boy was a figure unlike anything she had expected. Translucent yet discernible, discolored and
Where?
shifting. Its shape was difficult to define. Its features were vague.
So they're saying that is, what? That's a lady in black. People just sending pictures of the people going, look, it's a Bigfoot. They snuck in my house.
Vague, almost as if nature itself had blurred the edges, but its presence was undeniable. The air around the figure seemed charged, a subtle distortion that suggested it existed in the same space as her son, but beyond ordinary perception. For the mother, the unsettling noises she had experienced over time, footsteps echoing in empty hallways, whispers that seemed to come from nowhere, fleeting shadows that vanished at the edge of vision, suddenly had a context. Pauline wasn't imaginary. Something had been here, something watching, lingering just beyond comprehension. When the photograph
Right, that's just a woman kneeling down, wearing all black.
surfaced online, reactions were immediate and intense.
Reactions are, that's a woman kneeling down.
Skeptics questioned the validity of the image, attributing it to clever angles, reflections, or digital manipulation. Believers, however, felt a chill run down their spines.
See, this is part of the problem, is people will just take a picture and call it whatever, and then, well, dumb asses just fucking believe it.
Recognizing patterns reported
Clearly
in
a
other
woman.
paranormal encrypted encounters. Some speculated it could even be a juvenile Bigfoot, temporarily displaced from the forests and watching quietly from the safety of human dwellings. The ambiguity is what makes this encounter so haunting. No explanation fits perfectly. No answer soothes the unease. For anyone who studies or follows these phenomena, the Ohio household incident is a stark reminder that the extraordinary does not always wait in remote forests or isolated mountains.
No,
Sometimes it arrives quietly,
Stupidity is every fucking where.
at home, in the most familiar spaces.
This new year, shop kitchen essentials at Hobby Lobby.
No.
Make your space inviting.
Staring right at you. Tom's encounter on an Ohio bridge. Not all cryptid sightings happen in the deep wilderness or under fading twilight. Sometimes the extraordinary appears in plain sight. For Tom, a routine walk with his son and grandson down a quiet access road in Ohio became an experience that would haunt him long after. The day had started like any other. Birds chirped intermittently, and the occasional rustle of leaves hinted at small woodland creatures going about their evening. At first, the figure he captured seemed
Yes, definitely lost some fucking brain cells with that one.
unremarkable. A small, childlike shape sat motionless on the wooden bridge, perfectly still, almost blending into its surroundings. But as Tom reviewed the footage
It has
later,
clothes
the
on.
unease began to grow. The figure's proportions and posture were unusual. Covered in hair, it merged seamlessly with
Is it me, or does that, like, it don't look like it looks like hair. I think it looks like it has clothes on. You just found a depressed kid sitting on a fucking...
the earthy browns and tans of the bridge, making it almost invisible at first glance. There was a strange symmetry in the way it sat, almost meditative, as if it were purposefully observing rather than reacting instinctively.
Almost like a kid sitting Indian style.
Eyes alone made it baffling. Tom, standing at 6'4", could not have fit into that compact shape. It was impossibly small, yet unmistakably humanoid. with a dome-shaped head visible in several frames, a feature consistently reported in Bigfoot sightings. The stillness of the figure added another layer of unease. Its posture suggested deliberate observation, as though it were evaluating the humans nearby, weighing threat against curiosity. Analysts who enhanced the footage noted the figure's almost perfect camouflage, a natural blending of color and texture that allowed it to remain hidden even in plain view. Its presence was subtle but...
Okay, look, I'm going to say it like this. If that's not a person, okay, if that's not a person, that's like a little bear or something. But doesn't that look like a kid sitting Indian style? Look at it. Look at it. Looks like a kid sitting Indian style.
Undeniable, leaving viewers questioning the limits of human perception. Could this be a juvenile Bigfoot, quietly monitoring human activity from the fringes of civilization? Ohio, after all, is no stranger to cryptid lore, with decades of reported sightings of strange bipedal creatures in its forests and river valleys. Debate over the footage continues. Some suggest it could be a misidentified animal, but the humanoid proportions, stillness, and hair-covered form make that explanation difficult to accept. Others argue it defies conventional logic entirely, a silent witness to something humanity rarely glimpses. Every time Tom replays the footage, he feels that same chill, the sense that he was observed as much as he was observing. For Tom, the encounter was unsettling, not only because of what he saw, but because of what it suggested, that the world might still harbor mysteries far beyond our understanding. The bridge, once ordinary and familiar, became a threshold into uncertainty, where observation and imagination collide.
That is a kid sitting Indian style with realized that there was somebody back there taking a picture like a freaking pedo and turned around and looked. This is ridiculous.
And where a single glance at the right moment can leave a permanent mark on what we believe is real.
Wild discovery. Wild discovery. Do me a favor. If you just send your videos over to me before you post them, I can tell you whether or not they're full of shit or not. I don't think you care, though. I'm just...
Liam's Georgia backwoods encounter. Deep in the Georgia backwoods, where dense forests swallow...
None of these people have any testicular fortitude, or in other words, balls, because that's the first thing I would have did. If I would have saw something that would look like a little Bigfoot, not really, on a bridge somewhere, or a Bigfoot anywhere near me, I'm going to go over there. Because if it's a person, hey, what's up? If it's a Bigfoot, then you got a Bigfoot.
Sound and sunlight fades quickly beneath the canopy. A lone hiker named Liam...
The level of no balls is just ridiculous.
...experienced something that would linger in his mind long after he returned to civilization. He had parked along a remote service road and hiked nearly 2 miles into the wilderness, far from any sign of human life. As he reached a small clearing atop a quiet hill, something caught his eye. A dark shape, motionless, almost blending into the shadows. Liam instinctively raised his phone to zoom in, and what he saw sent a chill down his spine. There, staring back at him, was a face, humanoid in shape, with a pronounced brow ridge, deep-set eyes, and a gaze that seemed to track his every movement. It wasn't random. The figure's form, its posture,
25
even
more
the way
cents.
it
Thanks,
appeared
Miss
to
Vaughn.
survey the terrain, conveyed awareness. Liam was no stranger to the woods. He knew the tricks of perception, shadows cast by trees, the way light plays across mossy surfaces, the human tendency to see patterns where none exist, pareidolia. Yet this was different.
But it's not blinking. That looks like tree stuff to me. You want me to believe that's a Bigfoot looking at you? I want to see blinking eyes.
The figure exuded presence. Its stillness wasn't fear or caution. It was deliberate.
It exuded presence, so it farted. Okay.
Calculated, indifferent. Unlike wildlife that freezes instinctively, this entity appeared to be assessing, waiting, and watching with intent. Its size, shape, and subtle movements suggested intelligence and awareness far beyond any ordinary animal Liam had ever encountered. Every hairline movement, every barely perceptible...
I hate to be this way about it, but that's just some wood that's up. Like, I hate to be, like, come on. Like, can't we see some real Bigfoots, or like something that at least resembles a real Bigfoot?
Shift in posture amplified the sense that it was fully aware of his presence, measuring his intentions silently. Faced with the unknown, Liam chose prudence over curiosity. He retreated slowly, his heart racing, the fading light of the sun marking the forest's transition into full darkness. Yet even as he increased his distance, he could not shake the sensation of being studied, a lingering impression that someone, or something, was following his retreat with careful, deliberate attention.
Exactly.
The image of that dark watcher
It's just a tree.
remained etched in his mind, a silent sentinel in the
Some bark fell off a tree or some shit.
Georgia backwoods, suggesting intelligence, purpose, and a presence far older.
Don't just take classes, take charge.
Fucking
Start
Purdue.
your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
Older than human memory. For those familiar with Bigfoot lore, this sighting raises profound questions.
No, it doesn't.
Could these creatures, long relegated to folklore and anecdote, still move undetected through North America's forests? Liam's encounter hints at a reality that science struggles to acknowledge, that some mysteries
bullshit.
remain just beyond the edge of human perception, waiting quietly in the shadows for those unlucky enough to notice. Georgia helicopter, mystery, October 5th, 2025. In the backwoods of Georgia, an
What's a helicopter have to do with Bigfoot?
ordinary day turned extraordinary for a man named Edward.
Right. No balls backed out, ran from a fucking tree.
Known for sharing content about fishing trips and hunting excursions, he was not a cryptid researcher, nor someone seeking paranormal fame. Yet on October 5th, 2025, Edward's casual filming captured something that would send shockwaves through Bigfoot communities and leave skeptics scrambling for answers. Driving through a remote stretch of backcountry, Edward noticed two military helicopters moving through the sky. At first glance, the scene
Yeah, YouTube has no problem busting our ass with ads, but doesn't want to promote my shit.
seemed
Good work.
routine, perhaps part of a military exercise. But then, he saw what they were carrying. An enormous, dark, hairy figure suspended between the aircraft. The footage was shaky, Edward filming from a moving vehicle. Yet the object's size and presence were undeniable. This was no ordinary cargo. Coordination between two helicopters suggested something massive, heavy, and potentially alive. Zooming in, the figure's hair-covered frame and humanoid proportions became visible, giving it an unmistakable sense of life and presence. What makes this footage particularly chilling is
Why in the fuck would you use a helicopter to carry a Bigfoot that looks like a plank? It's like a statue or some shit. What would be the purpose of this? You don't think Bigfoot would put up a struggle or something? This is ridiculous.
not just what is being transported, but who captured it. Edward is an ordinary outdoorsman, a man whose daily life has nothing to do with cryptids or paranormal investigations. He didn't seek attention, and yet he stumbled upon an event that seems almost too extraordinary to be real. Since posting the video, Edward has gone completely silent. No new posts, no responses to
Of course, because everybody's like, this is some bullshit.
comments, no explanation. This abrupt disappearance has fueled
Right, it looks huge. It looks like a fucking statue.
speculation. Was he warned? Intimidated into silence? Or did he realize he had witnessed something the world wasn't supposed to see?
What that was a fucking log. That's a logging helicopter, and that was a giant log.
The implications of the footage are staggering. If authentic, it could represent the first documented capture of Bigfoot in modern history, an undeniable glimpse of a creature long relegated to folklore and rumor. Yet skepticism remains. Could this be a sophisticated hoax, designed to exploit humanity's fascination with the unknown?
You need to take that word sophisticated out, but it's not sophisticated in any way, shape, or form.
Or is it a rare, extraordinary moment where reality eclipsed imagination? For viewers, the footage is impossible to ignore.
No, at that moment, stupidity took over. Because
massive figure, the military involvement, and the sudden disappearance of the man who filmed it. All these elements combine into a narrative that is as terrifying as it is fascinating. It forces one to question not only what exists in the shadows of our world, but also what happens when humans encounter the truly inexplicable. Nighttime expedition, shadowy aggression. Some encounters aren't merely eerie, they are visceral.
Right, where are they taking it? Are they going to just drop it off the fucking helicopter? Right, I don't know. It's
Primal.
ridiculous.
A group of men set out one night on what they thought would be a routine search for a mysterious and elusive creature. Armed only with a flashlight and a camera, they ventured into the darkness, unaware of how quickly the line between observer and observed would vanish.
I don't know, Miss Fawn, but whatever they're on, I want some.
As they moved through the night-shrouded forest, their lights cut swaths through the black, revealing nothing at first. Then, from the periphery, a shadowy figure emerged. It didn't move like any animal they had ever encountered. Its gait was fluid, deliberate, almost calculating, as if it were gauging their intentions. The air thickened with tension, each step echoing ominously in the quiet. Alarmed, one of the men shouted a warning, a natural human reaction to the unknown. That single cry seemed to provoke the entity. In an instant, it charged. The camera clattered to the ground, briefly capturing the chaos, blurred movements, frantic scrambling, and the overwhelming presence of something both powerful and
bullshit.
Aware. The figure vanished almost as suddenly as it had appeared, slipping back into the shadows with unnerving ease. Though no one was seriously harmed, the impact of the encounter was profound. The creature's aggression, so sudden and forceful, defied any suggestion that it could be dismissed as a prank or misidentified wildlife. Yet the men's survival adds another layer of mystery. Was it testing their limits, asserting dominance, or simply defending its territory? Each possibility carries its own
None of the above. That was your buddy.
Unsettling implication. This footage serves as a stark reminder. Bigfoot, if indeed that is what they encountered, is not a myth confined to folklore or distant forests. Encounters can happen unexpectedly, and the difference between curiosity and danger is razor thin. For the men involved,
grown-up perks, zero grown-up stress. With AAA, it pays to be a member.
You seeing this?
Southern fried chicken or shrimp? Why not both? Who's got the sauce? Zaxby's.
the forest that night was no longer just a place of adventure. It became a theater where the line between human and unknown creature blurred, leaving questions that linger long after the darkness receded. The Cougar Mountains photograph, Washington State. Sometimes the extraordinary hides within the most innocent moments. In early October, a mother was hiking with her young son in the serene expanse of Washington's Cougar Mountains. The evening sky was alive with the shimmering northern lights, casting an
But can you see the northern light? Like, can you even see that there?
An ethereal glow across the landscape. Her son, entranced by the celestial display, lifted his arms toward the heavens, explaining with childlike wonder that he was trying to touch his angel. Moved by the purity of the moment, the mother captured a photograph, expecting to preserve a simple, heartwarming memory. But when she later reviewed the image, she noticed something that transformed a scene of wonder into one of mystery.
Okay. That looks like a weird double exposure or some kind of reflection, because it looks the exact same as his hand. Look, you see the shadow in his palm? The shadow in the palm looks exactly the same. Oh, let's see here. Omar's doing casino videos. Wow. That's that.
And unease. Descending from
Not surprising.
the sky, a hand appeared, delicate yet unmistakably distinct.
See, when you lie to everybody and you treat people like shit, your channel usually will be really horrible after a while. And people just got sick of being fucking lied to. And now, he's going to blow his all money in a casino. Good work.
Eerily mirroring her son's gesture, the alignment, the angle, and the timing of the hand.
Wait a minute. What's this beam of light? What is the beam right here? You see the beam going up? What is that? I call bullshit.
Raised immediate questions. Was this merely a trick of light and shadow, or something far stranger? The photo quickly spread across social media, sparking debates that blended skepticism, fear, and fascination. Some theorized that it could be a spiritual or supernatural encounter, an angelic presence interacting with the boy in a fleeting moment. Others questioned the authenticity, suggesting digital manipulation or coincidence. Yet the precision of the hand's position and its uncanny symmetry with the child's movement left many unsettled, challenging the boundaries between reality and imagination. Navajo Mountains, fishing encounter. In the remote and rugged terrain of the Navajo Mountains, a fisherman found himself face to face with a sight that defied explanation. Alone at a secluded lake, he had ventured out for what he thought would be a quiet day of fishing, surrounded by the natural solitude of the desert wilderness. But as he scanned the shoreline and nearby hills, his eyes caught a movement that immediately set his instincts on high alert. From a distance, he observed a massive, imposing figure. Covered in thick, dark hair, with a domed head and broad shoulders, the creature moved with a deliberate, almost purposeful gait across the rocky terrain. There was an unmistakable human-like quality to its posture and stride, a fluidity and movement that
If you have to put the arrow in, then maybe we need some help, because we don't see anything unless you put the arrow in. Even still, I don't see it.
ordinary animal in the region could mimic. The man was adamant, This was not a bear, a gorilla, or any known wildlife. It was
Whatever.
something entirely different. The isolation of the area added to the eeriness of the encounter. The Navajo Mountains are not home to primates, and the barren, rocky landscape offered no natural refuge for anything of this size and build. Yet the figure navigated the environment with ease, leaving the fisherman both awed and unsettled. He captured the moment on film, hoping to preserve what he had witnessed, footage that would soon ignite debate across the internet. Viewers were polarized. Some argued that this
I guess one day we'll see it.
was perhaps the clearest evidence of Bigfoot yet recorded in modern times.
That's the clearest.
A living, breathing giant, stealthily navigating our world beyond human observation. Others sought alternative explanations, attributing the sighting to misidentification, optical illusions, or even hoaxes. But for those who watched the footage, the creature's size, movement, and posture left a lingering sense of doubt. Could the wilderness still harbor creatures we have never truly encountered? The Navajo Mountains encounter serves as a chilling reminder that even in an age of technology and surveillance,
What's the arrow even fucking pointing at? A bush? Like, what are we looking at with the arrow? They just threw an arrow up there.
Main corners of the earth where secrets can persist, silent watchers, massive and elusive, roaming landscapes untouched and unseen by most. European Bigfoot like creatures.
Yeah, that last yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
Romania. Bigfoot is usually associated with the dense forest.
Oh, they're not going to show us the video?
But the legend,
they just show us shitty pictures? Okay.
or perhaps reality, seems to extend further than many would expect. In Romania, a survival show crew led by Les Stroud captured footage during what appeared to be an ordinary wilderness trek, only to unintentionally document something that would ignite debates across the cryptid community. At first glance, the footage is mundane, a quiet, forested slope with a loose pile of twigs in the foreground. But for those who...
Now, see, that looks pretty wicked. And the survivor man, dude, like, I mean, what does he have to gain from lying?
Who look closely, just beyond that brush, emerges a figure unlike anything typically seen in these European woods. Its shape is unmistakably primate-like, with a head...
You can see its face even, kind of. That's a little... That looks more like Bigfoot, not a bear.
Head, posture, and proportions that mirror classic Sasquatch sightings from North America. Despite being in an entirely different continent and ecosystem, the creature's
that's
presence
pretty
evokes
goofy
the
right
same
there.
sense of unease and fascination. Romania's folklore adds another layer to the mystery. The country's forests are steeped in legends of tall, silent watchers, spirits and guardians that observe from the shadows, rarely revealing themselves. To locals, such a sighting may not just be a cryptid encounter, but a brush with the...
That's goofy. That was definitely... That last one was goofy. Because I kind of believe Survivor Man. Like, why would he lie about anything? Plus, I've heard multiple of his encounters, and it seemed pretty real to me.
Nearly home.
Are you serious
More
right
space. I feel like I'm suffocating.
Oh no.
I say, well, think.
Okay. This is one that I saw the title and was like, this is either going to be really good or just plain shit. Okay? Because this is Bob Giblin, the dude who, the very first Bigfoot video. We've all seen it. But before I die, I need to tell the truth. Bob Giblin reveals the secret about Bigfoot. Now, from watching these other two videos, these other three or whatever the fuck we watched so far, I don't know. It's probably going to be some bullshit. But if not, this might be good. Maybe he's going to tell us something we never knew. That was a dude in a fucking suit. Okay.
Whatever you want to think, I know what I saw. And if you've seen the film footage, analyze it and think about it. And don't tell me that they can't exist. And
Okay. I do want to get this out the way. I want to believe that, but I have some issues with it. And my issue is it's the only Bigfoot footage that is real. You get what I'm saying? So like I have some things about that. And yes, Survivor Man is more real than fake. He didn't Bear Grylls anything like that stupid fuck. He actually do stuff. So like I tend to believe him. All right, let's see what this numbnut's got to say.
Because there's so many people out in the woods all the time that would see one.
From exposing the truth about the creature's footage to going to war with experts over what truly happened, Bob Gimlin has revealed the chilling secret about Bigfoot. Let's dive in. The clip that created a legend. It began on a cold October morning in 1967, a morning so ordinary that it drifted.
Right, the best footage we have of Bigfoot is from 1967.
Along.
From 1967. We have crazy amounts of cameras and shit now. We don't have nothing. All we have is this. That's why I kind of call bullshit.
Without warning that something waiting ahead would carve itself into history. The still air of the Six Rivers National Forest carried nothing strange at first, only the quiet promise of another day deep in a wilderness that stretched far beyond what the eye could hold. Bob Gimlin and Roger Patterson rode through that vast silence with the steady rhythm of horses following the dry skeleton of Bluff Creek. They carried no glory in their minds, only a stubborn...
That's right, everyone. Take the time to, if you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit that like button. Share it out. Tell people what we're doing. Make sure you tell them we're having fun. Thank you, Miss Fawn. I swear, man, you make me at least a couple dollars every stream.
By Patterson's obsession and Gimlin's seasoned understanding of the woods. The forest around them felt endless, its cold breath drifting across the trail as the hooves struck the rocky ground with a patient clatter. Patterson kept his camera ready in a way that suggested he expected something to step out of the trees at any moment.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, Gimlin watched the shadows with the calm focus of someone who had spent a lifetime reading the land.
How far away was she when you first saw her?
Just across the creek. About like from here across the creek.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Are you wearing a fucking ascot? He's wearing an ascot. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on.
The creek bed.
Anyway, dude was wearing a fucking ascot. Dude was wearing an ascot. How can you take anybody serious wearing an ascot? And yeah, that was Bobo there. You seen that motherfucker lately? He don't look good.
Twisted ahead of them, carved by years of rushing water that had long since abandoned its path, leaving a scar of gravel, splintered wood, and silent bends. Both men moved forward with that unspoken alertness that settles over anyone who has spent too much time in the wilderness. Then everything changed in a violent rush. Patterson's horse jerked and reared with a terror so pure that it seemed driven by something older than instinct, and its body trembled in a way that made the air itself feel suddenly wrong. Gimlin fought to steady his own mount as the trail curved sharply. The creature came into view with a brutal...
Never trust a man wearing an ascot.
...suddenness, standing no more than 100 feet away, heavy and towering and...
Including Fred from Scooby-Doo. I'm just saying.
...possibly real. Its dark hair caught the pale October light with a dull sheen that made...
Why does it look like it has pants on?
...every movement feel disturbingly alive. Its body carried...
You see the seam?
...a strange balance. A smooth, deliberate grace that looked nothing like an animal fleeing danger and nothing like a man pretending to be something he was not. And the sheer size of it created a pressure in the air that felt almost physical, as if the forest tightened around them in response. For several long seconds, none of them moved. The creature lifted its head with a slow motion that felt too intelligent to dismiss, its eyes gazing at the two men with a cold, tired look that felt more like recognition than...
Even Fred, anybody, and a man wearing a damn ascot. No.
Fear, as if it had seen their kind too many times before.
That, guy, he never really got anything that was good, because I was looking at it through two blue eyes, and Roger was with the camera, and the film footage that he got was, well, I finally decided that it's pretty good.
The disdain in that stare lingered in the air as Patterson struggled to reach his camera, his hands shaking while the creature began to walk away with a heavy calm that made the moment even stranger.
Why didn't you run up to it? That's the biggest question I've had about the Patterson Gimlin film. Why did y'all just stand there?
Each step it took seemed measured, the muscles beneath its thick coat shifting with an eerie smoothness. The forest stayed painfully quiet as the creature continued its deliberate stride, and when it turned its shoulders and glanced back, the single slow look carried something unsettling. It was a quiet awareness that pressed into the men with a weight
He looked back like, please don't follow me.
neither of them could shake for years to come. The shaky footage caught the outline of a legend, yet Gimlin carried the memory of details the camera never managed to hold. And those missing moments pressed on him far harder than the grainy 60 seconds that the world obsessed over. The film was finished and stored away, but the story refused to end.
Right, that man be saying some weird shit. Just weird shit.
For Gimlin, the real weight began to settle on his shoulders as soon as they returned to civilization. Because seeing something impossible was one thing, yet living with it in the days and weeks that followed became something darker. When the footage reached the public, it quickly went viral, and experts examined every frame while arguments erupted around.
It went viral in 1967. Cool. Okay, I'm just pretty sure that didn't happen, but okay.
Kitchen tables and in crowded lecture halls. Some called it the clearest proof ever captured, and others dismissed it as a trick born from desperation. On top of that, interest swarmed around them like a storm as people from every corner of the world demanded answers, and beneath that noise a quieter struggle grew between the two men who had stood together in the forest. Patterson, fueled by the same fire that had pushed him into the woods, stepped into the spotlight and fought to hold onto his story.
That's right, and that's where he met the abominable snowman was on the moon.
As the film became his mission. Gimlin, on the other hand, withdrew into himself, uneasy with the attention and the mocking comments
Fucking Scott.
that followed them like shadows. Questions began to spread about Patterson's past, and debts he owed resurfaced in whispered conversations that tried to twist the discovery into a scheme. Gimlin found himself defending both the film and the friend whose flaws were now being used as weapons. He had been a rancher, a man content with quiet days and hard work, and suddenly he was placed in the middle of a worldwide argument with nothing but his own honesty to protect him. But the strain reached his home, his family, and the sleep he used to take for granted. The heaviest part came years later when Patterson's health broke under the weight of cancer, and as the sickness pulled him closer to the end in 1972.
Damn, Tim, you old, bro. I'm not that far behind you, but so I'm not going to say anything.
The tone of everything shifted from public noise to something cold and intimate. On those final days, the two men spoke with the kind of clarity that comes only when time is running out. As Patterson drew his last breath, he asked Gimlin to hold the story steady long after he was gone.
Never trust a man with an ascot on.
Asking him to protect the truth of what they witnessed regardless of the cost.
Bigfoot does exist. Yes, they exist, and they should be left alone and not hunted. Now field research is okay.
Negative, let's hunt them.
Gimlin agreed with a quiet conviction.
I say we hunt them and see what Bigfoot tastes like. Might be a new meat source.
That felt simple in the moment.
Imagine feeding all the hungry people with big fat Bigfoot ass. That's what I'm talking about.
Not knowing that this promise would stretch across the next 50 years of his life like a tightening rope, shaping his days with a burden he could never set down. He carried the story alone after Patterson died, and every accusation, every insult, and every demand for proof became another test of the vow he had given a dying man. But was it worth it?
Do you know Hobby Lobby has hundreds of incredible products on sale every single week?
The truth behind the legend. As the years turned into decades, the Patterson-Gimlin film twisted into one of the most dissected pieces of footage ever recorded. Yet the slow march of time only sharpened the scrutiny as every one of the 952 frames was pulled apart with a kind of clinical hunger by believers and debunkers who refused to let a single detail slip past them. The argument always circled back to a single point.
Okay. All right. I'm going to switch videos now because this one sucks. I'm just saying. Like, this is not. You may think it didn't. You wanted to see it. You go and watch it. That was just too much fucking talking for me. And we can move on. I would like to make fun of. I mean, look at other Bigfoot videos. Come on, you stupid fucking thing. Hang on, I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Researchers who take Bigfoot seriously don't take every alleged Bigfoot video seriously. In fact...
All right, what's this one? New disturbing Bigfoot footage shocks experts. We'll see about that one. Man, you use turtle wax on your head, don't you, bro? Like, look how shiny that shit is. Wow.
They're often the first to call foul on the fakers. So when they tell us they've seen video they think is legit, we take a look too.
Bigfoot sightings have fascinated and terrified people for decades, and yet, after all these years, the mystery remains unsolved. From eerie footage deep in the forests of North America to unexplained encounters across the globe, these stories challenge what we think we know about our world. The Colorado River sighting, May 24th, 2025.
Man, Duke, man, it's knocked the fuck out back there. Man, like he had a rough day or something.
It was an ordinary day along the upper Colorado River, the kind of quiet, serene afternoon where the only sounds are the rush of water over rocks and the distant call of birds. A tourist, enjoying the calm, decided to take a walk along the riverbank, phone in hand, likely expecting nothing more than photos of the scenic landscape. But then, something unusual caught his eye, a dark, moving figure in the distance. He instinctively raised his phone and began...
Marcus, what are we doing? What are we fucking doing here, Marcus? All right. How you gonna put the same video twice? But okay. Sorry, we get a new one up.
Don't just take classes, take charge. Start your comeback today at
Purdue.
PurdueGlobal.edu.
Diagnosed with Crohn's disease and struggling with your symptoms? It's not too soon to talk to your doctor about
Nope, I am not, and I will not.
To take Bigfoot seriously.
Okay, let's see what this one is. New Bigfoot footage caught on camera in Washington has changed everything. What you doing, Duke? I doubt it's changed everything, but we're going to see. He's like, Dad, will you shut up? I want to go to sleep.
Seriously. Don't take every alleged Bigfoot video seriously. In fact, they're often the first to call foul on the fakers. So when they tell us they've seen video they think is legit, we take a look too.
From a Bigfoot carrying a child across a river to two Sasquatch caught in a brutal fight, this Washington footage rewrites everything we thought we knew. Emmanuel Alfaro's footage, Oklahoma.
What is wrong with that face? Look at that. That's got to be fake.
In October 2024, Emmanuel Alfaro...
Well, thank you, Tim, for watching a commercial and making me a couple of pennies.
wandered deep into the parallel forest, moving through its unusual quiet paths until he captured footage that caught the world by surprise.
Gabe, because the AI voice he's using literally sounds like that. And look at this shit. What is that? What in the fuck are we looking at?
He had been enjoying the stillness of the day when a shape settled against a distant tree caught his eye. It was a shape that did not move with the rhythm of the forest and seemed to watch the world with a patience that felt wrong.
What's wrong with its face?
He lifted his phone with a slow, uneasy instinct, and the recording revealed a large, heavy figure covered in coarse hair, its face disturbingly human in structure, its posture too calm for something that should not exist. The creature remained...
That's right. Make sure you take this time to subscribe and like and share and do all that good stuff. I'm only reminded by this little thing on the screen right now.
Remained motionless for a moment, almost as if listening, until its head shifted in a smooth, deliberate turn that brought its gaze direct...
That is a fucking suit. Look at the... That's a suit.
Toward the camera, offering a clear look at features that seemed carved from some ancient nightmare. The eyes held a dull intelligence that drained the warmth from the air, and that brief stare pushed Alfaro into a frantic retreat as he fled through the trees, feeling exposed beneath the weight of something that should have remained unseen.
That's his boy in a
After
suit.
posting the video on TikTok, it quickly went viral, gathering millions of views as people tried to make sense of the thing crouched against the trunk. Some viewers admired it as the clearest glimpse ever captured.
So you, all right, whatever.
Others,
like, where are the balls in these people, man? Like, you see a Bigfoot, go run up to it. Like, what the fuck? Get some real good footage, because that right there is fake. That's a fucking suit.
claimed it was nothing more than a staged figure in a suit. Yet as much as they continue to deny the existence of the creature, newer evidence keeps on popping up. Doorbell Bigfoot. It started as an ordinary cold night,
Oh, this
the
should
kind
be
where
good.
the air feels thin and every sound seems too close. When the doorbell camera caught something that
Get
pushed
the
the quiet
fuck
house
outta
into
here.
trembling chaos. A towering ape-like figure drifted into view, its movement slow and deliberate, as if drawn toward the lens by some grim...
Okay. I want everybody to look at that right there. If for some reason you think this is real, that's a real Bigfoot knocking on these people's door and a ring fucking doorbell, please turn this off right now and go to the fucking hospital and get help. Because goddamn.
Grim intention, its posture strangely aware of the eyes watching from inside. It leaned in until its breath fogged the screen, releasing a low, guttural growl that vibrated through the frame like a warning meant for whoever dared to witness it. A woman's scream suddenly burst through the house, sharp and terrified, as though the presence outside had reached into the walls and touched her with its cold message. When the footage hit the internet, panic spread quickly, with some insisting it was nothing more than generated imagery, while others admitted their own cameras had captured shapes just as disturbing. But it gets
Sure
even
they
stranger. Angry Bigfoot throws giant log at camera.
Okay, here we go.
In the heavy early fall wood
What?
of the
Okay.
Blue
Hopefully they show that
Ridge
again.
Mountains, a wildlife camera recorded a moment that many now call the most furious Bigfoot ever put on film. When the clip surfaced on October 25th,
That is a dude in a ghillie suit. Look at... You can see the pocket where his face is. It's black. Right there in the middle. Look at it. That is a ghillie suit. That dude is breaking wood over this. That is a dude in a ghillie suit. That...
2023, it exploded online, drawing more than 1.8 million views as people rushed to witness what the creature appeared to be doing. The video begins quietly, showing a massive dark figure standing still behind a fallen tree. At first, nothing seems unusual, yet something enormous begins shifting its weight nearby. A few seconds
That's a ghillie suit.
later, the creature snaps a thick branch clean in half, the
That's a ghillie suit. Look at it. What the...
sound echoing sharply even from the camera's distant position. Then, with incredible power, it hurls the broken log toward the lens. The piece of wood spins across the frame and crashes loudly into the undergrowth.
Access changes people's lives.
I'm building.
That's what I think about your commercial.
Went viral. Skeptics insisted it had to be staged, but those familiar with Bigfoot reports noticed
You can
unsettling
see-
details hidden in the movement. Slowed down, the swing of the arm seems impossible.
Right there. You see that black hole in the middle? That's the face of the ghillie suit. It looks like it's coming up over it. Come on.
Fluid and far too strong to belong to a human wearing a costume. The creature's shoulders lift with each contraction of its muscles, and its massive frame melts naturally into the dim forest shadows in a way no suit ever has. Adding to the unease is the region's history. The Blue Ridge forests have been a hotspot
thank you, Miss
for
Vaughn.
sightings since the 1970s, yet almost no footage has ever shown a creature acting with this level of clear, deliberate aggression. Hikers encounter in Colorado River. A strange figure wandering through the Colorado wilderness has stirred new speculation.
This is the
that
same
the
one.
long-rumored Bigfoot may have finally been caught on camera.
I'll just keep redoing
On
it.
May
Huh?
24th,
No? Okay.
a whitewater rafting group from the Colorado River Expedition
Wait a
was
minute.
making its way down the
Was that a Bigfoot on a raft?
upper Colorado River when they pulled onto the shore for a break. Logan Kirk, the lead guide, said he and a dozen others were preparing lunch when someone pointed out a shape moving on a distant hillside nearly 500 yards away. At first, they assumed it was a bear, but the longer they watched,
Until it
the more
waved.
that idea fell apart.
Hi.
The figure was upright, moving smoothly, and clearly walking on two legs, something that immediately grabbed everyone's attention. The
So the same footage for two stories. Okay.
video they captured, now viewed millions of times online, shows a tall, bulky, fur-covered shape weaving through thick pine trees. It pauses between two trunks, seems to look directly toward the camera, and then slips back into the forest as if it had never been there. This footage set the internet buzzing with excitement, with many viewers convinced
Same evidence, separate story. Bullshit.
it is genuine evidence of the creature that has haunted North American legend for generations. Others remain skeptical, arguing that it could simply be a person dressed in a costume or a bear briefly balancing upright before dropping back to all fours. However, this doesn't stop more evidence from popping up from this region. Brandon's encounter. Brandon was on an exploration train ride from Florida through southwest Colorado when he and the crew suddenly saw something that did not make sense at all. His mind started racing, and so he took out his phone and recorded whatever he was looking at, hoping to examine it further later. Little did he know
This is same footage, different story.
that he was about to shake the internet. With the train in untouched wilderness, coming face to nature, but because they
Oh, wait,
face
here
to
we go.
face with strange. And when he was growing up, Brandon and his grandpa used to go for fishing trips where his grandpa would tell him stories about the mysterious skunk gape. If that wasn't convincing enough, perhaps the next one will. Evolved than humans.
See, look
What
at
if
that.
the
That's
real
Todd
secret of
Standings.
Sasquatch isn't only that they are out there, but that they have been observing us in silence, waiting for humanity to remember something long forgotten. Sasquatch researcher and filmmaker Todd Standing has spent years
By far, the craziest Bigfoot footage comes from that dude.
buried in untouched wilderness, coming face
Look
to
at
face.
that. Look at that. That looks like a real Bigfoot. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it looks like one. Look at the actual face. It's not blurry.
With strange beings most people still dismiss as stories. He carries the footage, the wounds, the encounters, and every bit of evidence he believes proves they are more than campfire tales. Yet his mission reaches far beyond simple existence. Todd claims these beings possess abilities that stretch past physical strength, describing them as highly aware, deeply intuitive, and spiritually evolved. He speaks of moments where they guided him, protected him, and pulled him into experiences that felt more like rites of passage than random encounters. He believes they do not disappear into the
Look
forest
at
as a
that
trick
shit.
of nature, but because they trust him enough to reveal themselves in ways others never experience. To Todd, Sasquatch is not hiding from humans, but patiently watching humanity stumble through its own confusion. He sees them as ancient guardians of the land, waiting for people to grow, to shift, and to rise to a level where real contact can finally happen.
That better?
Yet if belief in a spiritually advanced Bigfoot isn't that compelling, perhaps hard cold proof will do the trick. Bigfoot carrying a child across a river. A strange clip filmed on the Cass River in Michigan went viral in
Okay, Ganjima, I'll look in a little bit.
2021, leaving viewers stunned for a single chilling reason. Eddie V's cousin had been out kayaking when he spotted a massive figure with light brown fur casually crossing the river as if the freezing current meant nothing at all. Its size was alarming, yes, but what truly disturbed the viewers was the small shape in its arms. At first glance, it seemed like the creature was carrying something it had hunted, but once the footage was zoomed in, the outline became clear. It looked like a juvenile Bigfoot.
That looked like a fucking face. Like,
tucked close against the adult's chest, and the larger creature lowered its body slightly as if shielding the tiny figure from the open river. Its slow,
it looks like a suit.
Purposeful movements resembled a wild parent guiding its young through danger, not a monster rampaging through the woods. For many, this was the moment of clarity. suggesting Bigfoot might be a living species with families, instincts, and a need to protect its own, and it's not just a monster as some perceive it. What happens when a hunter encounters a Bigfoot habitat? Hunter's trail cam footage. A big game hunter near Nordegg in Alberta, Canada, was scouting deep in the wilderness.
Sorry, I thought I heard a thump. Anyway, that looks like a Bigfoot house. Set up in the Bigfoot house. Come on, man.
When he discovered a massive shelter built from heavy trees and thick branches. The region has a long history of Bigfoot reports, and whenever hunters find strange structures like these, they usually tear them down and leave the area. Wow. Driven by curiosity and wanting to know what might return to the site, he set up a trail camera facing the structure. Except he had no idea what he was about to capture. Just a few hours later, while he was back at camp, his phone buzzed with an alert and a video that instantly filled him with shock. The footage showed something unexpected approaching the structure, something large, dark, and shaped unlike any known animal in the area. When the clip began circulating online, viewers were stunned by both the eerie construction and the mysterious figure caught on camera, and several people claimed they had seen.
How come Todd Standing's the only dude to get a Bigfoot face? Nobody else is able to, like, that looked like it could have been a clear picture if it was a clear picture.
A similar creature in that same region. While the hunter spied on the creature this time, in the next case, the humans never...
I mean, it is possible, but the amount of cameras I have around here, I would at least catch it, so we'll check later.
Never knew they were being watched until it was too late.
You got a
creepy Idaho...
You ran with a gun in your hand. You ran with a gun in your hand the opposite direction. Shoot the fucking Bigfoot. God damn.
Bigfoot. It began as a normal day, the perfect outdoor shooting range for a couple, the kind of routine practice they had done many times before. The woman had just taken a smooth, clean shot that earned her an easy compliment from the guy. It was all cheers, until her expression changed, her eyes drifting toward the far side of the river as if something there had silently pulled her attention. The man followed her gaze, and that was when he noticed it. A massive figure stood on the opposite bank, a towering presence that looked as though...
Okay, let me just say this. Man, you're out in the woods and all of a sudden you see somebody or something. I mean, it would freak you out. But you got a gun in your hand, honey. Like, do something with it.
Out of nowhere, or worse, had been standing there the entire time, hidden in plain sight and watching them with an unsettling stillness. When the footage made its way online, viewers focused on the moment the woman chose to...
Bigfoot was trying to hit it. I'm just saying, Bigfoot was like, you can leave that dude, come over here.
...to run, even though she was the one holding the gun. Yet anyone who has ever confronted something that breaks their understanding of reality knows how overpowering fear can be. In moments like that, instinct takes control. And
maybe it's all the government training, but I'd have shot that fucking thing. I'd have shot it.
And even those who are armed often feel that the safest option is to flee.
Nope.
However, this is not the only outdoor activity that has been interrupted by an unexpected sighting. Snowboarders footage. This snowboarder was gliding through the cold silence of a Pacific Northwest mountain, enjoying the untouched snow, when something shifted in the tree line ahead. A tall figure stood there, buried in dark fur, moving on two legs with a slow, deliberate purpose that no bear he had ever seen could mimic. Its posture carried an
See, that's a little more believable, because dude just going down the hill and caught it in his peripheral.
Settling awareness, as if it already knew he was watching long before he realized what he was seeing. For a moment, the creature paused, its shape heavy against the pale winter light. And then, the instant it understood it had been noticed, it slipped back into the forest with a swift, almost silent urgency. Yet even more evidence keeps popping up, even by accident.
See, that one was a good one. That one was actually a good one, because, like, it could have been fake, but dude was going down the hill. Caught it in his peripheral. You know your peripheral?
Accidental footage. During the winter and spring of 2020, an independent wildlife biologist working in Alberta set up a network of trail cameras along the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, While studying wolverine activity, the cameras were placed beside quiet game trails, the same narrow paths deer and elk use as they move between their feeding grounds. At first, everything seemed routine until he returned to review the recordings. Hidden within the footage was something he never expected. A massive figure blended almost perfectly into the trees, standing so still it looked like part of the forest itself, as if it were waiting for something living to wander close. Throughout the early hours, the cameras captured uneasy deer flickering in and out of frame, their movements tense and restless. But much later, the dark shape slowly withdrew into the woods, its size and silence more unsettling than anything he had gone out there to study. This surely caught the researcher by surprise, just like the next group who saw two Bigfoots fighting.
Here we go.
Hi, I'm Bobby White, and I'm here to tell you why you're
Bobby White, I will never buy a car from you, you dirtbag.
During one of their field operations, the Expedition Bigfoot team encountered something that unsettled even their most experienced members. After leaving the cabin behind, Russell headed north, following what he was small to be a fully grown Bigfoot, yet far too strange. Fate heard his prayer deep in the woods.
Same one as the other one with a different story. Now Bigfoot's fighting.
Encounters keep getting weirder. Bigfoot with human remains. Two hunters came across a strange handmade shelter near their camp, and inside it were scattered bones that looked disturbingly human. Uneasy but determined to understand what they had found, they returned the next morning to examine the site more closely.
Bigfoot gotta eat too.
After confirming that some of the remains did belong to a person, they mounted a trail camera on a nearby tree, aiming it directly at the eerie structure before quickly leaving the area. They expected the camera to capture strange animals, but at sundown, the unexpected happened. The camera captured a towering, humanoid figure stepping into view, offering one of the clearest glimpses ever of what might truly roam those woods. The creature was massive, upright, and unmistakably the builder of that unsettling shelter. Yet the evidence keeps coming from even sources most people wouldn't expect.
Looked like a bear.
Emergency responder captures Bigfoot on helmet camera.
Okay. No. I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on all those because that last video literally was the same stuff from earlier videos, just with a different story. So 100% bullshit. Oh, that's ridiculous. All of those. 1, 2, all of these. It's bullshit. Just bullshit. Well, looks like we're not going to find Bigfoot on YouTube. Not tonight, anyway. Ridiculous. Okay. I have a question. For my next live, should we continue looking for Bigfoot? Because I'm just going to tell you, Bigfoot videos kind of suck. Or maybe we should switch it up to like aliens or something else. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Something. I don't know. Maybe we should do aliens. Just let me know. I'll put a poll out just to make sure so everybody can see it. We didn't find Bigfoot. At least we got to laugh a little bit. I mean, that's better than nothing. Well, all right. I'm getting out of here. Make sure you let me know. Let me know. And if you happen to have some videos or you have suggestions for us to watch and react to, please let me know. Julia, yes to aliens. Yeah, I know. I would have to. No, I'd have to be real easy with it, but I think we could do it. All right, cool. Next one will be aliens. And I don't really know when. It may be Thursday night. I don't know yet. Either Thursday night or Sunday night. But we'll do aliens. I'm not going to let Marcus look up videos. I'm going to do it this time. All right, thank you very much. This was a blast. We'll see you on the next one. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And share this shit. Me and Noah need to be unbanned. So help us out. Thank you. Bye. Dude, man, you want to say bye? He's knocked the fuck out. He's not saying shit.